Want smart analysis of the most important news in your inbox every weekday along with other global reads, interesting ideas and opinions to know? Sign up for the Today's Worldview newsletter. The volume of utterly horrifying stories emerging from Burma can feel overwhelming. Since late August, more than 626,000 ethnic Rohingya have fled what seemed to be a systematic campaign of attacks by the Burmese military and local militias in the country's Rakhine state, the most rapid exodus of a community since the Rwandan genocide. An aid group estimated that some 9,000 Rohingya, including 1,000 small children, died between late August and late September. Satellite data showed hundreds of villages burned to the ground, while virtually everyone who escaped to squalid refugee camps in Bangladesh has a horror story to tell. "They shot my old father, they put a log of wood in his mouth and then slit his throat," a woman named Almas Khatun recently told the Sydney Morning Herald. "I keep thinking about my children. I couldn't save them. They killed 7 of my children, my husband and his 2 brothers." She pretended to be dead and managed to later crawl to safety, away from the burning ruin of her village and the corpses of dozens of slain relatives. Last week, an investigation by the Associated Press chronicled what appears to have been a campaign of mass rape carried out by Burmese security forces, based on interviews with 29 women and girls ranging from the ages of 13 to 35. Soldiers and anti-Rohingya vigilantes, they say, engaged in robbery and torture, including abusing and gang-raping the women they captured. The testimonies bolster the UN's contention that Myanmar's armed forces are systematically employing rape as a calculated tool of terror aimed at exterminating the Rohingya people, the AP wrote. In a Friday column, Nicholas Kristof of the New York Times recounted his own conversations with Rohingya women who were raped and had to witness the slaughter of their loved ones. He called on Aung San Suu Kyi, Burma's top civilian leader and Nobel laureate, to listen to the story of Hasina Begum, a 21-year-old who saw the men and boys of her village killed, their bodies dumped in a pile, doused in gasoline and set aflame. The women and girls were meant to endure an even grislier fate. "I was trying to hide my baby under my scarf, but they saw her leg," Hasina told Kristof. "They grabbed my baby by the leg and threw her onto the fire." The story goes on, Hasina said she collapsed on the ground, screaming. "The impatient soldiers then began to club her. She showed me scars from the beating and dragged her into a hut with her sister-in-law, Asma Begum. The soldiers stripped the women naked and raped them," she said, and finally closed the door and set the hut on fire. Naked, the 2 women managed to escape through a hole in the hut, salved their injuries with mud, scavenged clothes and made a 3-day trek to the Bangladesh border. "When I fall asleep, I look for my baby," Hasina told Kristof. "I wake up screaming.